Okay, good evening. This week we have our theme is attitude, and our topic is on realistic optimism. When the brain is in stress or despair, it's quite literally difficult to access our resources or to see possibilities and to feel that kind of optimism. But gratitude can be I'm going to start over again. When the brain is in stress or despair, it's quite literally difficult to access resources or to see possibilities, to even find gratitude or to reframe our challenges. Through self-awareness, we can take care of our energy and calm the mind to open up to what's possible. Sometimes what's possible is the recognition that this isn't my problem to solve. Quite honestly, sometimes we think, ruminate about things that are not ours to solve. So today we're going to explore how optimism versus pessimism feels in our body, and recognizing that through self-awareness, we can choose to elevate our energy and our mood and to have more access to optimism and also our resources within us. So let's start with, we're going to be looking at optimism versus pessimism, because we always think about what's optimistic. It's not just putting on a happy face, but also, sometimes it's hard to find the optimistic perspective. So we're going to look at our experience of what it feels like to be in the pessimism and to be in realistic optimism. So I am going to, we'll start with some breath awareness. So I'm going to invite you to just find a comfortable position and find a nice lift in your spine. And start to tune into your breath. And just notice your breathing. Notice how you are coming to this practice. Notice if the breath feels more shallow. And oftentimes, just by becoming aware of it, it starts to shift or change. That practice of awareness really support us. Just listening, noticing, feeling the sensations associated with the breath. So breathing in, feeling the body expand the in-breath and softening with the out-breath. Inviting a longer, smoother in-breath and a longer, slower out-breath. And just noticing what it's like in your body to just experience those long, slow in-breaths and long, slow out-breaths. And so if wherever you are, if you feel like, no, I still feel shallow or feel anxious, no judgment, honor yourself where you are. Notice what's happening in your breath. And then slowly just allow it to shift on its own, not forcing it to change, but just allowing it to be as it is, and inviting a little more softness into the belly, to the shoulders,
into the jaw, and any of the muscles associated with the movement of the breath. So even up around the collarbones, around the rib cage. Breathing in and out through the nose as best as you're able. And I will share our affirmations for this evening. And you can choose, as always, to adopt one as it is or formulate it into an expression that feels accurate for you. So today I'm cultivating the habit of being optimistic. And that begins with finding gratitude. I am realistic about what's possible. Realistic optimism helps me see the possibilities before me. Optimism feels so much better than pessimism in my mind, my body, and my spirit. So now we're going to do another breathing practice. And I invite you to, I'm going to move just a little bit further from the camera so you can see. And this one is going to be reaching the arms into the air with the in-breath. And I call it reach for the sun because it's a little bit like, I like to reach for like, oh, that sunshine out there. Sometimes we have to sweep the clouds away and reach for a little piece of that sunshine and then bring it into the solar plexus with a ha. Good. In-breath reaching and then alternating. Out-breath, ha. Good. Reaching up. Ha. 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 So call this reach for the sun. And so what does the sun represent to you? Like energy, positivity, optimism. What is it you want to bring in more of? Maybe it's gratitude or hope. So bring that down, bring it in, breathe it in. Firing up that solar plexus with the ha. Now both hands. Last time, breathing in and then and breathe in and just feel the breath return to natural rhythm and notice the flow of the breath. Notice the energy that you've created. Notice if anything's shifted in your mindset, in your attitude, just by the suggestion of bringing in or breathing in gratitude or bringing that into your core. So in a moment, we're going to do some sun salutations with our chair. So, and then we're going to play with those sun salutations. Let's do that first, actually. We'll see, and then I'll introduce what we're going to do with that as an experiment, okay? So hopefully my chair is in there. And let's offer a couple solutions here, or I'll stick to one. We're going to do that seated. So come to your seat. Come toward the front edge of your chair so that you're not using the back of the chair, but let the feet be firmly planted on the ground, okay? And feel that mountain in your mountain pose in the spine, which is this nice upward energy and grounding down. Feel a nice lift in the spine and a broadness in the shoulders. And as you're ready with the in-breath, sending the arms out and up with the in-breath. And then bring the hands together and slowly lowering the hands to the heart. So we'll call this mountain, or the opening to sun salute. Okay. And so adding on from there, we're going to reach out and up, bringing the arms overhead. And then bending at the elbows, bring the elbows out, cactus arms. Cactus arms, like elbows, shoulder height. Good. And then folding forward just slightly, a little bit of a back arch here. Good. And then exhaling, rounding, bringing the hands to the feet or shins or to the floor. Good. And then bringing the hands to the shins and inhaling up halfway. Good little back arch, or bringing the hands to the knees, coming up halfway, back arch. Good, exhaling, folding. Good, and then in breath coming up. Once again, cactus arms, back arch. Okay, and then exhaling, releasing. Come back to mountain pose, neutral spine. Okay. Good, so we're going to add on from there, sending the arms out and up, nice in breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Sending the arms out and up, nice in breath. Out breath, cactus arms. Good. Exhaling, folding forward at an angle. A little back arch here. And then rounding, bringing the hands toward the feet or the floor, the background. Good, in breath coming up halfway. Little back arch again. Exhale, rounding. Good, pressing the floor away with your feet, coming all the way up. Good, in breath, reaching up. I forgot the piece I wanted to add in here. Realistic optimism, right? Okay, here we go. We're going to start through that again. We're going to add a twist. Good. In breath, reaching out and up. Cactus arms. Hinging, coming forward. A little bit of a back arch. Exhaling, rounding. Bringing the hands to the earth. Bringing the hands to the knees. In breath, coming up. Out breath, rounding forward. So now let's plant one hand to that foot or to the floor, or you might rest the hand on the knees and send the other arm out. So we're coming into a twist. You've got your options. Notice what that feels like in your body. Good, breathing. And then exhaling, lowering. Twisting in the opposite direction. Reaching up. And exhaling, lowering. Good, bringing the hands to the knees, in breath coming up halfway. And exhaling, rounding, rooting down into the feet and uncurling, coming up to seated. Okay, now, so that's the little, it's a version of sun salute in a chair that we're going to use tonight. And we're going to do this as a little experiment. So you'll find that later in support group that that realistic optimism exists on a continuum from unrealistic pessimism to realistic pessimism to realistic optimism and then unrealistic optimism. So there's this long continuum. So I invite you to think of one situation in your life where you feel kind of pessimistic about it, or your inner dialogue about this topic is a little pessimistic or negative. So, you know, one of mine will be like, it never works out. That situation is a message we say about ourselves. So, or something that is within our control. So this is like optimism about something that we have some control over. With our own, but we always have control of our own thoughts. So that's important to remember. Even though we don't have control over a situation, we do have control over our own thoughts. And control is an illusion anyway, right? So let's remember that, so we're going to just pick one thing that you feel pessimistic about. Don't worry, we'll end on the optimistic. Or the one thing you feel pessimistic about, identify 2 of your typical pessimistic statements about it. And then we're going to put those on repeat as we do sun salutations and notice what you feel in your body. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So find your 2 statements. So mine might be, I'm not enough. It's never going to work out. It's never going to work out. So whatever that your situation is, find your statements. And then notice as we go through this, just play those in your mind on repeat, because we know the mind, it's said that we have 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are the same thoughts over and over. So we know we replay thoughts over and over. So it's this exercise is to help us have more awareness of what those thoughts are, and to help us have awareness of how those thoughts are impacting our body. Okay. So ready? Press play on your inner dialogue of pessimism and the 2 statements that you say over and over to yourself. Okay. And then inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale. See, I'm repeating these and I can hardly do it already. We're going to come to, cactus arms. Good. And then exhale, rounding. Bringing the hands to the floor. Bring the hands to the knees. In breath coming up halfway, little back arch. Playing those repetitive thoughts. Good. Rooting down, in breath coming up. Sending the arms out and up. And bringing the hands to the heart. And maybe it's hard to say those negative things when you're doing yoga. Good to be aware of this. Good. Bringing the arms overhead, cactus arms, elbows high, bring the heart forward. Good. Bringing the hands to the knees. Exhale, round. Good. In breath coming up halfway, a little back arch, rooting down into the feet. In breath coming up. Bringing the arms overhead. One more time, we're going to go through that. Continue with that negative or pessimistic perspective. In breath coming up. Exhale, elbows, cactus arms, moving forward. Exhaling, rounding. Good. In breath coming up halfway. We're going to add that twist in. Plant one hand, twist to the side. Exhale, release. Keep repeating that pessimistic thought. Good. Exhale, release. Bring the hands to the knees. In breath, come up halfway. Rooting down into the feet, come back to mountain. Sending the arms out and up. And bringing the hands to the heart. And then just notice how that feels in your body, if it was harder to do. So then our next task is to pick one thing you feel optimistic about, something you feel that you feel like, oh, things are always working out. This is like, whoo, jackpot. Or all of this feels very possible for me. So just identify 2 of your typical optimistic statements. And if you don't have typical optimistic statements, make something up that could feel realistic for you. Something, because we're talking about realistic optimism. It isn't like, my life is perfect, just the way it is. Because we all have challenges. That's part of life. So some of it is a matter of finding acceptance. But what is an optimistic statement you could say to yourself? And then put that on repeat. And we're going to go through sun salutations in the chair again. and then see how you feel and notice. We're going to be able to notice what experiences are different. Okay. So one more time. So find your optimism. I already feel taller. Things always just work out is my statement. Things always just work out. Might not always like it, but it always works out. Things get solved. And so I'm going to go with like, things work out. And so we're going to send the arms out and up. Nice in breath. Things always just work out. Good. Exhale, cactus arms. Good. In breath, a little bit of a back arch. Out breath, folding forward. In breath, bring the hands to the knees, coming up halfway, back arch. Out breath, folding forward. Rounding the spine, rooting down into the feet. In breath, coming up to seated. Sending the arms out and up. And exhaling, hands to heart. So again, sending the arms out and up. Things always just work out. Bringing the arms overhead, exhaling, cactus arms. Good. In breath, back arch. Good. Out breath, folding forward. This time twisting, adding that twist in. Exhaling, folding, back to forward fold. And then sending the other arm out and up, in breath. Out breath, releasing. And bringing the hands to the knees, in breath, coming up halfway, little back arch. Out breath, folding. Rounding, uncurling, press the earth away with your feet. In breath, reaching out and up. Out breath, hands to heart. Things always just work out. Reaching the arms down, out and up. This time, let's go a little side to side. Exhale, hinge to one side. In breath to center. Out breath to the other side. Things just always work out. Good in breath to center. Good out breath to cactus arms. In breath, heart comes forward, little bit of a lean. Out breath, back rounds, bringing the hands to the earth. Good in breath, bringing the hands to the knees, back arches. Out breath, folding forward. In breath, sweeping one arm up. Out breath, releasing. In breath, sweeping the other arm up. Out breath, releasing. Bringing the hands to the knees. In breath, coming up halfway, back arch. Out breath, rounding the spine, coming up to seated. In breath, reaching up. Out breath, hands to heart. So what did you notice? Did you notice more? I noticed immediately a more sense of resource within me. Did you notice I added on a little side to side? Like, that would feel good right now. So it's like when we have that sort of realistic optimism that things work out, that we have more resources, more creativity, more a broader perspective of what's possible in our body. I noticed it just doing the demonstration. What did you notice though? I'd be really interested to know what you noticed as a result of this practice of witnessing what's happening in your body, carrying that optimism with you. So let's go ahead and shift gears now to rest. So finding whatever comforts you'd enjoy to find your way into either a seated meditation or reclined or even with the feet up on the chair. And optimism, I feel like, again, there's that continuum that you'll look at in support group, from unrealistic pessimism to realistic pessimism to realistic optimism, and then to unrealistic optimism. And I feel like optimism really begins, it's hard to go from negative to positive, from pessimism to optimism. But on that continuum, you might find neutrality, acceptance, and maybe even gratitude. So wherever you are, see if you can maybe take one step down that continuum from whatever feels negative to maybe neutral. It's like, maybe this isn't mine to deal with. Or some amount of like, it is what it is. Very neutral. It is what it is. Or acceptance, or even gratitude. I'm learning from what is. I'm stronger because of what is. And so I invite you, as you settle in, to invite in a feeling of relaxation and ease into your body. Just as you are. There's nothing right now that needs to change. Complete acceptance of what is right now, as you are, present in this space. And just noticing where in your body you might be able to just welcome in, invite in a feeling of ease, of relaxation, or even just some dissolved tension, just letting go of some amount of holding in the body. The fingers, the shoulders, the hips, the feet or hands. And then begin to become aware of something you're grateful for. Anything. It could be that the ground beneath you is solid and supportive. It could be a blanket, a pillow. It could be the weather today, or the sounds of nature. Anything you can find to feel grateful for. Even calling in an image or a remembering of a place in nature that supports you. This can very much be a resource to support us to feel that more expansiveness, to find that optimism. And then just showering yourself with gratitude. Recalling, almost like popcorn style, what you're grateful for. The color purple, a red rose, blue sky. The sounds of the birds. And let all of these things that you call to mind that you're grateful for be like a shower of gratitude. It's like washing through you this experience of gratitude. And quite literally, gratitude is like a shower that washes away the pessimism, the negativity, And so just allowing yourself to be filled with gratitude. And you could feel, maybe even inviting that feeling of letting go of any negativity, any pessimism, any tension. Because let's face it, those are connected. Just right out your toes. Just let it go. Maybe that gratitude has a color that comes to mind. Maybe gratitude shows up as blue or pink, some vibrant purple. And so now, without having to name anything, just feel yourself awash in this gratitude. Noticing how transformative the experience of gratitude can be. So as you begin to bring your awareness back, again, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in gratitude, breathing out, letting go of anything that's less than gratitude. Breathing in, maybe seeing gratitude as a color. Again, if that's supportive for you, breathe in the blue of gratitude or whatever color works for you. And breathing out whatever color might represent what doesn't serve you. Maybe breathing in blue, breathing out black or gray or brown or orange, whatever color doesn't work for you. It works to identify that. Breathing in, receiving, breathing out, letting go. Letting that gratitude wash over your whole body. And then as you're ready, taking your time, finding your way back to seated. And I'll share a couple of quotes with you from our handout this evening. And one is perfectionism is paralysis, and done is better than perfect. So sometimes that's related to optimism, and pessimism is this paralysis that comes with it. And then this one is a quote from Roy Bennett from a book entitled The Light in the Heart. And it says, attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Optimism is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Giving is a choice. Respect is a choice. Whatever choice you make makes you. Choose wisely, my friend. Okay, so that concludes our program for this evening. Blessings. Be well.